Hey everyone, this is Geoffrey in Agent Resources over here at Senior Marketing Specialist. Just wanted to give you all some advice moving forward with your AHIP and certifications this year. I myself was an agent for about 3.5 years, so I still do my certifications each year. Not for all the carriers, just some of the big ones, and I absolutely do my AHIP each year. The first tip I'm going to give you when going through the AHIP is simply take your time. Okay, I know through those first 3 modules, you have that option to test out. Okay, well, while that is nice because it's like, I don't have to spend all the time running through each of the modules, spending time going through all this stuff, I know all this stuff. I can tell you from my personal experience going through it this year, there is a lot of new information. And each piece of new information that's on there, that is on those practice exams, those are on the AHIP exams, certification exams, it's on everything. So you want to take your time going through those. You do not want to rush through and just test out of them. Now, there's going to be portions where you're a little bit more familiar with, and you may not need to take as much time going through it, but make sure when you see that new information that you do take the time to go through that. Now, on modules 4 through 5, those you do not have the option to test out of. They do require you to go through each of those. So you're going to want to pay attention to those regardless. Those typically have the most updates anyway. So you want to make sure you are taking your time through those sections. When it comes to the certifications for each individual carrier, I would recommend you taking your time going through those as well. Similar to the AHIP, anytime there's any updates on there or changes for 2024 or any year changes in general, those are the questions that they ask on those practice tests, and they also ask questions on those on the formal exams as well. My second tip for you is going to be take your time going through the practice tests, okay? Those practice tests are there for a reason. Don't just skip through those. I've seen in the past where people just, check and go through. Some carriers require you to have a certain score on the practice exams. Some carriers let you just kind of go through it. With AHIP, you want to make sure you're taking your time, because if you do miss a section or you do miss a question, it does tell you the slide that it's on. It tells you where you can go to review that. So it really is preparing you to take that final exam. So if you take that review of 10, 15, 20 questions, however many it may be, you'll see, okay, I missed 3, I missed something in this section, and this section. And it gives you the opportunity to go back and review those sections so you know, hey, if I missed this, there's probably something else in there I missed as well. Even though on that practice exam, it does tell you what the answer is, the most beneficial part of that is to be able to go back to that specific slide and catch up on some other information that you probably missed as well. My third and final piece of advice in reference to AHIP and certifications is download any PDF guides that are available. Kind of goes back with the second piece of advice I gave you going through and doing those practice tests. It does tell you which sections you need to go back to and review to see where those answers are, to see what information you possibly missed. So it's going to be much easier if you have that downloaded PDF guide after you go through that practice exam to be like, okay, let me see where I missed this. Let me reread this section. Because once you exit those practice tests, you can't go back and see them again. Like, it's done. It'll just tell you your score. You can't see what you missed. You can't see the details of what you missed or anything like that. So that's why you want to have those PDF guides downloaded. Same goes with the certifications. Now, I know not all of the certifications are going to be as specific as AHIP, where it's telling you, hey, you missed this section or this question from this section. This is the answer. Some carriers will tell you that. Some carriers may tell you the correct answer. And then some carriers will just say, hey, you got the answer wrong. And that's when you're going to have to do a little bit more digging. But that's when it's beneficial to have that PDF, because as soon as you close out those practice tests and practice exams, a majority of the time, you are not going to be able to access them again. The other thing I would say is beneficial about having those PDF guides downloaded is it is a great reference for the changes in 2024. Whether you want to look up a change from a certain carrier or you want to look up a general change with, the new AHIP regulations or CMS regulations and guidelines, having those resources available is really going to be a valuable asset to you. Moving forward, if you have any questions on anything Medicare, anything certifications, anything AHIP, always feel free to reach out to us here over at Senior Marketing Specialist. We're more than happy to help.